everyone, I'm Kayleen Pendarvis, and today we have a murder mystery that we are going to review. Now the title is called Things in Ditches, and the author's name is Jimmy Olsen. Hi Jimmy. And so this is the cover. So I want to say here that I actually like the cover. It has a very good design, but one of the things that's standing out to me, I'm honestly not getting the feeling of quote unquote ditches. Now the author did change his cover eventually on Amazon, and you get a better sense of the symbolism. I see the lone grave here, which does to me symbolize that we are following just one death, and so that was symbolic. Now looking at the synonyms of grave, I didn't quite find the word ditch, so the grave is out of place. I would have liked to see just a little bit more ditch. All right, now the font is very nice. I love the glossy more or less finish here, and then we have a nice road or a highway on the back that just represents travel. It represents going someplace. Now there are some protagonists in the book, and that would be Charlie. I would say would be the #1 protagonist, but really there are a few people that you actually cross in the book, and they all kind of have their own issues. There's not really an established good guy. So Charlie is the one that actually I lean towards and I attach myself to. And he was like one of those guys that he just wants to be. He just wants to matter, okay? He just wants to have people notice and just kind of move up in where he's at and not be the person that they always look at as he's always new to a job. He's always going to be new to a situation, but he wants his experience to be recognized. So I actually really liked his character design, his character layout, so very good job on that. Now my first 10 pages and my thoughts of that, I gathered a sense of darkness immediately, and that was because the main character, he was up to something in the beginning that wasn't very healthy. So that darkness actually continued on, and the author talked about dirty, icky, inconceivable things to set you into that setting. And I instantly didn't trust Dutch or Walleye, if I'm saying his name correctly, Wally or Wale. Country, I'm trying to think about how in the country, since it was supposed to be a small town, Walleye, possibly, because for one, Dutch's introduction was strange, and two, Walleye's initial venture into the woods and seeing the ghost / dead body of a woman that spoke volumes. So initially I'm led to think that there are no protagonists in the story, but if so, this begins in an alternate, more or less, universe. So I think that what I'm getting is that this is a small town vibe, small town minded people, and then we have more or less, the murder. So that was just, it wasn't supposed to happen here in this small town. Now, somewhere around page 6, I was captured. I wanted to read more of this. Now, some other highlights that I had. Now, the title did definitely match the setting, the things in ditches. And I really, really also liked how the dialogue, it was very realistic, captivating. It kind of reminded me, if you will, about the True Blood, Sookie Stackhouse, okay? And I'm trying to think of something that they may say, but no, you can't Sookie, those types of things. It's just kind of like this small town, and it goes back to everyone knowing everybody's business, everybody being in total communication. So when something's out of place, when someone is not supposed to be there, and you can tell. I mean, it was one of those places, and so it was out in the middle of nowhere, which made it even more weird. Just kind of one of those places that you just kind of drive by. So the setting there, you really just got all of that. And the author was very descriptive. He uses adjectives appropriately. I really like how warm the descriptions made me feel on the inside. And Jimmy, you did an amazing job drawing the reader into the settings. I like the relationship that Dutch had with his dog. Now, going to that, a lot of people more or less have those relationships, and we have with our pets, and most of the time. And it's like the dog, something, you know, it was something like he would never really hurt. Whereas the whole time we're thinking of Dutch, we're thinking he's the murderer, and therefore he would hurt someone if he became cross with them, or vice versa. Now, my favorite part of the book was the description of Vicky's body. That, it stuck with me. I could not get that out of my head. The author spent several pages describing this body, and even down to the misplaced mark that was under the woman's chest. I will say it was down to just the T, and something just being in her mouth. And I mean, it was I know that's uncouth to say that my favorite part of the book was Vicky's body, but I mean, that was a total attention getter, and it was something that you had to grab onto. And the author oddly had you in a very close visual of what her cadaver looked like, as if it was tangible, like you could touch it. And my second favorite part of the book was the kind of discord between Charlie and the sheriff. Now, all good work relationships could use a little discord every now and then, but I always wanted Charlie to triumph those discussions. He was just a crab trying to move up in that barrel. So can he get a break, please? That's all he wanted. I just wanted to be noticed. I thought that more or less the time frame as well, the recovery for Gordon Murdoch, and when he was out for a bit, he was out for a few many pages, and it made sense to when he actually did resurface for that time frame was actually very, very believable. So it's almost like you forgot that he was in recovery, and then pop, he's back. So I really like that too, and I enjoyed the fact that there was a lack of repetition in the book. So that was an accomplishment as well. Always something new to see, always something new to feel. And the ending, I liked it. It was action-packed, and I saw, it coming to his friend siding with him more or less on behalf of the wife of Gene. I kind of saw that, but I saw that coming. But I really liked the ending. It had an interesting plot twist at the end involving Carol as well, and I was very surprised at that. And for Dutch, in the bittersweet end. And my favorite quote was on page 306, and I'm going to go to that here. So here we have what is, 2 seconds.